Good afternoon, everybody. Great, we're just going to let someone else come in and take a seat. You're very welcome to this afternoon concurrent stream sessions for the community-driven Landcare stream. So I'm very glad you could all make it today. We've got some great sessions coming up this afternoon. I'd also like to thank our sponsor, Bupa, who sponsored this stream, and I'm going to invite Maya up to say hello to you all.
Thank you. Welcome to this afternoon session. My name is Maya Rivas. I'm the Senior Manager of Sustainability and Social Impact at Bupa, and I'm here on behalf of Bupa because Bupa is the sponsor of this afternoon's event, or session, I should say. I would like to thank you, firstly, for being in the room, and I would like to thank the presenters, which I've met one just prior to now. Presenting is not easy. Getting up here and sharing your story is really hard, but it's from hearing those stories that we'll all do better work. So thank you to you and to everybody else that's presenting today. Now, just very quickly, why is Bupa sponsoring this event? Bupa is committed to people and planet health. As a health caring company, we know people can't be healthy if the planet and the environment around them are not healthy. So as part of that commitment, Bupa has a global program called Healthy Cities, and it's run out of all our different market units around the globe, and I support the delivery of it in our market unit here in Australia and New Zealand. And it's through that program that we have this amazing partnership with Landcare Australia. We're in our second year now, and hopefully this partnership continues for many more years. But what the partnership enables us to do is to be able to connect with local Landcare groups, people that are doing the work on the ground, to be able to restore our nature and our regeneration so the planet can be healthier and people can be healthier too. So thank you everyone that are here today. Thank you to the presenters once again. It's an absolute privilege to be here. I'm looking forward to learning. I'm doing so much learning being here this last couple of days, but thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Maya. And now I'll introduce you to Saraya Robinson from City of Gold Coast, who's going to talk to you about scaling Landcare impact.
Hi, so welcome. So my name's Saraya Robinson and I'm the NaturallyGC team leader with the City of Gold Coast. So today I'm going to be talking about scaling Landcare impact and the NaturallyGC model of local government and community collaboration. I first wanted to actually start on this particular slide and this particular image for a reason. So as you can see here, the interest that we have in Landcare is actually quite phenomenal. This was from a recent tree planting event where we had 260 volunteers come along and plant 10,000 trees in under 2 hours in partnership with us and North East Albert Landcare. Also the biodiversity on the Gold Coast. So most people when they think of the Gold Coast, they think of the high rises and the beaches, but we're much more than that. We're an incredibly biodiverse city, as you can see here by the array of flora and fauna species, but also most notably the 50.87% coverage in native vegetation. The city environment programs, I actually did want to highlight this as well. We invest and attract a lot of investment in both land restoration and community restoration initiatives. So we're guided by our natural city strategy, which helps inform a lot of the decision making around these programs, including a 51% vegetation cover target. We've got a number of programs here. So our ecological restoration program, you might have heard it a few times through the conference. We have one of the largest ecological restoration teams in the country. We have 25 internal bush regenerators that work in the city, covering 4,000 hectares of land, along with project officers, and we support industry as well. We have an environmental offsets program, our beaches program supporting our community dune restoration, a natural areas acquisition program, which is actually a really exciting program for the city. So we proactively purchase land for both conservation and also for restoration initiatives. The Conservation Partnerships program, which is supporting private landholders through our Land for Wildlife program, and NaturallyGC that I'm going to be talking to you about today. So what is NaturallyGC? It's the city's forward-facing community environment program. It was established in 1999, so it's a really long-running, well-loved community environment program. It's all co-delivered in partnership with community, even though we are local government. We provide free education and conservation initiatives and activities for the community to get involved in, including Landcare. And most importantly as well, we're actually embedded in the Natural Areas Conservation Unit. So what this means is that we're effectively land managers, and we get to sit alongside our ecological restoration team that really support the Landcare movement here in the city, our conservation planners and our park rangers. Our focus, so we have quite a broad scope of focus for our community program, but we deliver Landcare here on the Gold Coast in partnership with community. So we're currently working across 26 project sites in partnership with 10 different bushcare and landcare groups, but also facilitating with general community volunteers and other partners. We facilitate kids' holiday programs, so getting kids involved in whether it's junior landcare or wildlife encounters. We deliver feature events, so the Pest Fishing Classic is coming up shortly, and that is removing invasive species such as tilapia from our Gold Coast waterways. We support that in partnership with My Catch Australia, our community group. Citizen science initiatives, so community can come and help survey for things like greater gliders and help set up fauna cameras as well. But we really focus on building relationships between local government and community because we're all in this together. We shouldn't be doing it alone, so it's essential that local government work with community along the way. And then we support and build with external partnerships so that they can then go on and upskill and also create further impact in other landcare space such as national parks and private land. This is our 24-25 impact report. I love sharing this. So this was all in partnership with our community partners. And despite we had wet weather, rain, you would have seen a cyclone came through, we still were able to achieve really, really great outcomes in partnership with community. So you can see here 286 environmental events, nearly 38,000 trees planted. We released 36,000 bass fish. We've got 54 partnerships with not-for-profits, local businesses, schools, corporate groups. Nearly 12,500 people came and joined us in the past year, 1,700 volunteers, 4,185 volunteer hours, and a 99% community satisfaction rate, which I'll get into a little bit further. I'm going to be focusing on a little bit about how the city facilitate landcare. So it is very different to other councils that you might find across Australia and what they support for landcare. For us, and again with our program, we do the environmental education component, which we pay not-for-profits and local businesses to deliver education to our community. But for the landcare component, it is 100% city funded. No volunteer group, no landcare group needs to be seeking for funding to be restoring council managed land. So that funding goes to everything towards staffing, materials, tools, all of the skilled bush regenerators that we have that come and help prepare the sites, and most importantly they also help maintain it, so we get good community outcomes but also really great environmental outcomes by ensuring those projects are well managed long term by bush regenerators so that the burden is not all on volunteers. And then we have the centralised staffing and the resourcing of our program. So while there's lots of different landcare groups, the ones that are working on public land, we centralise that with our staffing. So I've got a team that help facilitate the strategic planning of landcare, but also we do all the administration tasks and the burden that often volunteers don't want to be doing. And that's everything from your marketing, your registrations, we use Eventbrite, all of our inquiries, workplace health and safety, we take on board all of that sort of documentation as well. But then we also have skilled bush regenerators that attend all of the landcare sessions as well, so that those landcare groups aren't alone. They can be upskilled and we can work in partnership with community. This is a case study that I wanted to use to highlight that our model does work and how you can make it work to again get those really good environmental outcomes. So this particular site, I was here for the very first day of landcare here. So the top photo is in 2008 and the below in 2022. This is in partnership with Currumbin Creek Care Group. It's along a 2-kilometre section of the upper reaches of Currumbin Creek. We have a number of threatened species here, including a known platypus population. As you can see in the before image, it was highly disturbed. It was actually a previous quarry. There was limited native vegetation on site. We actually had around 60 weed species and a lot of in-stream erosion as well. But then through the partnership with local landholders and the Landcare group there, we've been going quite strong, and through assisted restoration, which is that weed control, and then the revegetation of 65,000 trees, we've been able to achieve some really great outcomes. I think another standout for this particular project is the importance of trying to have skilled bush regenerators to help maintain those projects long term, so that we're not just walking away from projects and we can keep maintaining them. So you can see we've been working here for quite some time. And like I mentioned, I was here for the very first session for this. So for me, seeing this photo, it means, yeah, just so much seeing that before and after and what we can actually achieve by working together. So I have been working with the city for 20 years. I started as a bush regenerator. I very quickly moved into the NaturallyGC team, and I've proudly been there for 17 years. I have not moved. I've not moved positions. I absolutely love what I do. But what that's actually allowed me to learn is what works, what doesn't work. Efficiencies, we haven't always had the resources. Even though we're a big council, we haven't always had the resourcing to support the program. So there's a lot of things that we've learnt around efficiencies and trying to work a little bit smarter and things like that as well. So I'm going to talk about a few different tips. So the first one is about the importance of being strategic. So if you are looking to start a Landcare project or a Landcare group, there's a few things that I would recommend looking into. So firstly is ensuring that you have clear frameworks and guidelines to help support your project. So whether that is around best practice or eligibility around, is it in a threatened, are there threatened species there? Is it in a wildlife corridor? Do we have the resources to continue with this? Do we have the support and the community interest as well? Secondly, if you're lucky enough to have skilled staff to help support and guide your programs and projects, is highly beneficial. And long-term planning and a long-term vision and advanced planning. So moving away from, 3-5 year timeframes, looking forward to the future. So what will these projects look like in 20 years, in 50 years time? And then aligning with council strategies where you can. The better you align with strategies that might be in place for your local area, the better support that you're going to be given, because you're working to that bigger picture, a bit more of a holistic picture. Sustainable funding, so ensure any of your resources align with the outcomes that you're trying to achieve from your particular projects. So if you don't have as much resourcing and you've got more sites, you might need to revisit what that looks like. The ability to maintain projects long term. So for us, and I know we're very fortunate on the Gold Coast, but for us, before commencing a project, unless we can maintain it for a minimum of 7 years, we wouldn't be looking to start a project, because we really want to get those good environmental outcomes. And then boosting your existing projects before commencing others. So instead of diluting volunteers through various other groups that might be close to one another, try boost existing projects and boost that team morale in existing projects before you move forward. Partnerships. So this one, you might recognise the guy in the photo there. That's our Deputy Mayor, Mark Hamill. And the reason why I've used this photo is because I want to talk about the importance of influencing. So I take this quite seriously in council. With everyone's got the ability to influence those that make decisions. He is someone that can make decisions, but by bringing them along on your Landcare journey, you're going to get further support for your projects, and they're also going to make better environmental decisions in your council. He's very hands-on in our Landcare program. We actually co-design programs with and projects with both him and also the local Landcare groups in partnership to again leverage those resources and increase the reach of what we're trying to achieve. We do operate on a slightly different model in that we look at alternative partnership approaches. So what that means is it's not always your traditional Landcare and Bushcare groups. You could be looking at project-based Landcare. So there's lots of young people, corporate group and schools who are keen to get involved, and sometimes you might move to a project-based approach where you have an important restoration project you might want to start, but you might not have that other community involvement. We find that that project-based approach tends to also drive participation. So a project-based approach might be a koala tree planting day, or it might be a National Tree Day event. We find that we get a really big increase in volunteers, and in particular young people. Most of our program is young people that participate in all the project-based land care, so it is providing that space and that option for them to come and participate with us. And then the other important one is the groups that actually partner with us can actually leverage the success of those partnerships to then upscale and go seek further grant funding to do works in other land tenures like national parks and private land where council can't actually get, so that when we can scale up that land care impact. Communications. So again, know what works for your community. So find out how the community hear from you now, how they'd like to hear from you now, any gaps that you might have in any of your communications with getting your land care impact out there. Identify all the tools available in your toolkit. So no matter how small the marketing or communications options might be, seek out your marketing department and see what assistance there might be for that. If you don't have a marketing department, I'm sure there's lots of other assistance with Landcare Australia as well to look at other marketing options. Automate processes with digital integration. So this one, in 2017, we actually moved to the Eventbrite platform long before, at the time it wasn't actually approved by council to be using it, but I needed to find a really streamlined, efficient way to get people involved in land care, and really quickly with young people being able to register online. So we automate a lot of our digital processes, and one of them is Eventbrite, which actually allows you to publish all of your communications onto websites, onto Facebook automatically at the click of a button. Using Facebook for event listings and co-hosting. Facebook often seems quite old for people, but Facebook really works for us, and in particular, ensuring that if you are hosting an event on Facebook that you're co-hosting with your partners, because you're going to expand and increase that partnership reach as well and potentially attract new people to your program. And the importance of high quality image and video content. I take my camera and my gimbal normally everywhere, filming, taking photos, because any of those pictures can then be used to help promote and share the success and sell your story, and get further people involved in land care as well. If they see nice photos where it looks like a really great time for them, you're more than likely going to start attracting people if you have nice imagery and content. Accessibility. So we, again, have the model of the land care and bush care groups, but we also have that project-based approach, and we allow community to register 24/7. They don't need to be involved in a land care or bush care group. They can register online through Eventbrite at the click of a button, find out what that task is, what we're doing, and sign up, get all that information into their inbox, or they can cancel at the click of a button. We find this works really well for youth in particular who don't usually want to have that face-to-face regular engagement. From there, you still might get people that sign up to your program and will continue to participate. Limit red tape inductions, lengthy sign-ups and check-ins. So we are able to work a little bit around this because we do have a city officer that attends the land care groups, which minimises some of those workplace health and safety risks and things like that as well. And our check-ins, so we utilise QR forms and QR codes for people to check in when they arrive to land care. It's a lot more efficient process than keeping paperwork and things like that as well. It's really important to provide opportunities for ad hoc involvement. So again, volunteering has very much changed. Not everyone wants to be participating every weekend. So you really need to make sure that your program or your projects support that ad hoc involvement and allowing people to just register when they like to attend or come and join you when they want to. And if you don't see them for another year, that might unfortunately be it. But it's a really great way as well to get people involved. And that no pressure for ongoing commitments. You would have heard, I think when Kurt and the team were talking downstairs around that no pressure for commitments and that ongoing commitment, a lot of young people and families don't often have the ability to sign up to something regular or feel that pressure to keep volunteering. And then offering those options for the various levels of involvement. So some people love to be volunteer coordinators. We've got one in the room here with Wal. They help rally the troops. They're the liaison with the city officer. But then we have people that just would like to do the morning tea, or they want to come socially, or they just want to attend once a year. Impact reporting. This is really, really important. We use automatic feedback surveys and things like that in the use of Eventbrite, and what that allows us to see is what works, what isn't working, what the community want to see with Landcare, and also it gives you really important demographic and data insights as well to see where are people coming from, what are the age ranges that are participating in your program. The next one is go digital, get that real-time participation. So I did mention about the QR codes when people arrive to your Landcare sessions. You can move away from paper and move to simple QR codes that all collate that data for you in the background. And what that gives you is that live data that you can share with other people at the click of a button to show the participation in your programs. The next one is the share the participation and outcome data. I'm really big on this. I'll share it everywhere I go. I'm consistently in our managers' ears, our councillors' ears, trying to showcase to them that the Landcare movement on the Gold Coast is really quite strong and just what we can achieve by banding together and working with community. And then ecological monitoring with the before and after photos. So that image of Currumbin Creek Care, we probably have around 100 of those images that we can share that are really great for community and showing, you know, how people can get involved, how they can make an impact as well. And then if there's 3 key takeaways I'd love for you to leave with today. So it's the importance of being strategic. So to get the best possible outcome from your program or your project and create a long-running sustainable program is being strategic. And then don't underestimate the power of influence as well. So speaking to anyone you can come across, especially those that have the power to make decisions about the benefits and the importance of the Landcare movement in Australia. And then accessible, so making your program or your project accessible so that we can get young people in, we can get families in, and you can start attracting new demographics to your activities. Before I finish up, I did want to thank Landcare Australia for providing me the opportunity to speak today. It's actually my first conference presentation. Thank you. It's really wonderful to have everyone here on the Gold Coast. It's been a dream of mine for the conference to come here. Like I've mentioned, 20 years with the city, and it's also my first Landcare conference as well, so it's been fantastic. But yeah, thank you as well for coming out to hear the presentation.
Thank you, Saraya. Before you sit down, I've got about 3 minutes for questions if you would like. Otherwise, offline, I'll just jump over here first.
Thank you. Great stats up there, good successes. What advice would you have for Landcare groups who are trying to improve their relationship with their local government?
Definitely seek out your local councillors would be one, and have those conversations with them and show the benefit. Get them involved in your Landcare projects as well. Don't just go talk to them, get them actually involved, see that the community is making an impact. But also, they should be funding. I'm very surprised that a lot of councils don't actually fund in the same way that the city does, regardless of resourcing. It's the same as having, you know, roads and rates and rubbish and things like that collected. That funding should be put towards Landcare as well. But seek out your local councillors if you can, and then your next stop, if you've got an environment department, hopefully go find a passionate individual that's happy to lead that charge.
Saraya, Jerry Butler here from South Australia. Thanks for a great presentation. I'd like to congratulate you on the opportunities to run festivals for communities to get engaged. It really helps community groups to actually have a platform to go to. Influencers are just so good to have those partnerships. I share one very brief story. We have an alternative partnership just recently with the Police Credit Union. They wanted to make a donation to a community group, but the catch was they wanted their staff to come as well. It wasn't just the donation, so it made it really great.
Yeah, so we run a corporate program where corporate groups can fund the purchase of the trees and things like that, but in return they're there physically, you know, giving back and planting and things like that as well.
Thank you.
Larry.
One more.
He's my favourite, you can go.
I do have a secret question. Here is the question. My question is to Mayor. all right? You saw the impact assessment. From a potential funder's point of view, what does the availability of that kind of information, how does it help you?
Ooh, on the spot.
It's always very awkward. It would make my life much easier. Because, yeah, I need to demonstrate to my decision makers why would we invest, and to have slides like that, I hand it to them essentially. Good question, Larry.
Thank
So
you.
important.
Thank you so much.